Hi everyone, thanks again for joining me. And for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm Anne and I give general love readings focusing on divine partners, and that includes all soulmates and twin flames. So I hope you can stay and watch this video. I'm sure there's a message for you since you've landed on this video and this is your very first time. Okay, so now that we're at the very end of March, and I'm really excited. April is almost here, and it's a time when we get like all excited. I don't know. I get excited when April 1st comes. It's like, wow, it's almost here, and we're already 4 months into the new year. But it's great because it has been an interesting and I have to say challenging first 4 months of this year. But it's all good because it's all for our highest good. Whatever happens to us, we all have to just look at it as it is part of our life lessons. It's part of what we need to do to get ourselves stronger, to get ourselves united together. So this is enough said about that. It's all about what we feel inside of our hearts as well. So you may be going through your own stuff, and whatever that may be, just process it, put it away, and start over again. This is a time of spring or autumn, and it's a time to start new seeds, planting new things in your life. And I'm not talking about just a garden, which I am getting really impatient and excited for. I'm already started. As you can see, I haven't done my nails because I'm going to be doing that for the entire month of April. And you know how much I love my outside. So I hope you guys are doing the same thing, because by doing this, we all get like excited to start new projects, new things, new beginnings, new energies that occur in our life. And that happens with almost every aspect. So when you start one project, there's always like other things that you're doing, and with a series in your life, whatever that may be, I hope you can engage in it and embrace the light that's inside of you. So without further delay, let's begin the reading. Okay, I've meditated and shuffled the cards, asking our angels on what we need to know for this upcoming week. This side, as I explained before, is for the divine masculine, and this side is for the divine feminine. I'd like to split them apart so we can go into sections and understand, because divine masculine, divine feminine lives inside of all of us. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's for a man or a woman. It does, gender does not matter. Okay, so on this side, the divine masculine, as you can see, the emotions are running high, and yeah, they are running high. They are extremely high. Not because we are doing too many things at one time, but the divine masculine has been going through a lot of turmoil with trying to make some decisions, make some important decisions on which avenue to take when it comes to motivating themselves, because there's something there that they've been holding on to. And we talked about this many of times, that divine masculine basically don't really release the way they should, and they hold on to a lot, where the divine feminine is always like purging or releasing. That's the main reason why divine masculine and divine feminine are trying to come together. Now, the emotions are running high this week, and it says supermoon, but it's basically because we had a supermoon a while back. And you know what? There's so much going on that we're still feeling. It's kind of like when we get triggered, we trigger off so many different emotions. And the emotions are not necessarily bad. They're not necessarily good, but they are high. So you may be feeling it. The best thing to do is take advantage of it in a good way and let it go, release it. This is sometimes we need to just find what it is inside of us that we're not getting, and just let it go, because that's what it takes in order to find that true peace, that true place inside of you that you truly want to go to. Because a lot to do with breaking free as well, because if you don't break free, the divine masculine isn't going to let go, let down their guard. Maybe there's someone you're involved with and you're finding yourself constantly chasing that person. Yeah, we talk about the divine soulmate connections, twin flames that go through a series of phases, and one of them are the runner and the chaser stages. Not necessarily that they are good or bad, but it falls into the lines of they have to find what it is to find a happy medium. Now, breaking free from that person is not the key here. It's not what I'm trying to say. Like I said, these are all messages that come through that maybe you're getting them in a different way. I can't define them for you because it's obviously, this is a reading that is for the collective, and everybody who is watching it, this is a reading for you. As I've always mentioned, get the messages, and the message is coming clear. So if you're getting, I need to break away from someone, or I need to break away from a pattern. Maybe you're with someone and you keep thinking in that negative pattern. You're reminded over and over of a certain person or a situation and afraid to let it go. So it's actually triggering you off. Or vice versa, the person you're with, you're noticing the emotions with them are like they're lashing out on you, or they're saying things that just does not seem right. Basically, Divine Masculine has a lot of ego. And, you know, ego is a good thing, but it also can be a bad thing in a way because it triggers us off. Because if we don't like what someone said to us, obviously no one does. And I'm not saying that you should like when people say things that hurt your feelings. But sometimes we take it to heart and we end up lashing out with negativity. Divine Masculine has been doing this lately. And Divine Masculine is saying, I'm tired and I don't want to hear about what you have to say because I need something. So Divine Masculines right now, guys, are really lashing out. It's like that's where it's been going, and I've been seeing this a lot in the collective. Not that it's something that is going to continue, but you know, for this season, you know, we're all like, okay, new beginnings, new changes, we're all about that. But when it comes down to you're holding on to something and you're holding on to a grudge, or you're holding on to something negative, or there's never going to be an answer of light inside of them coming through. You know, in other words, their questions or your questions are never going to be fulfilled. You're not going to get clarity, is what I'm trying to say. Step out of your comfort zone. That's another thing. Stepping out of your comfort zone to get to the point where you can see yourself clearly. Many times we have this ego, and I have to admit, we all go through it. I go through it. It's a daily process of working on yourself, using ego in a good way, but also using ego in a way where it's not using it to your, use it for your advantage, but don't use it in a way where you're taking it for granted in a sense. Stepping out of your comfort zone sometimes means I have to bite my tongue. I can't say to this person, maybe this person is going through something. And you know what? Maybe they just keep coming back at you. Maybe this is your divine partner. They keep coming at you with something that is negative, and maybe they're going through something that you know of. Maybe they're hurting. Maybe they're healing. Whatever they're going through, it's a good time to let the Divine Masculine just release it. And step out of your comfort zone and maybe say, hey, I don't want to pry into what you're going through, but I'm here for you. You know, giving a light versus lashing out, hey, you shouldn't talk to me like that, I won't take that. You know, like those kind of things are, yeah, sometimes needed. But in this case, in this situation, I'm getting a message that sometimes you have to just step out of that comfort zone and, you know, like give a little bit of light to that person because it's the only way you're going to find the inner power here. As you can see with the card below it, inner power bringing a sense of peace, a sense of love, a sense of light. And inner peace is what ignites you. When you're ignited, you automatically see things a lot more clearer and you can feel things a lot more easier. So maybe that person isn't getting it. Maybe they're not. Maybe he or she hasn't been looking at you the way they should. And I know Divine Masculines, guys, I know a lot of people who like are basically looking at the Divine Masculine as their partner or their soulmate or whatever that other person. If your divine partner is leaning towards the Divine Masculine, then this is definitely something for them. And vice versa, if you're leaning towards the Divine Feminine is for you. I know I go back and forth, so it's sometimes one week I'm more Divine Masculine and one week I'm more Divine Feminine, and this happens for everybody. So like I said, this is messages for everyone. So pay attention. Maybe there's a message with both sides. So like I said, the inner power that you have is inside of you. And if you're not looking at what you should be doing in order to get there. Maybe you need to step out of your comfort zone. I'm getting a big message with stepping out of your comfort zone. It could also represent that you're not doing enough for yourself, and you're kind of like getting too comfortable. You need to start like exercising, maybe working out a little bit. Getting more vigorous activity in your day will actually bring your spirit down to where you can feel your inner power. Yes, we always talk about mind, body, and spirit, and it's not all about just, well, I eat okay, I don't eat this, and I don't eat that. No, it's about doing what you feel a little uncomfortable with. Like, I'm eating less portions because I want my clothes to fit me better, obviously, for the spring to summer. And you know what? Maybe you're right now looking at, I need to just slack away from something and come back to it later. It's a little uncomfortable. Whatever that may be, it's time for you to just examine what that is and, you know, just go along with the flow. Divine Feminines, it's a time for healing. And as you can see, there's a lot of energy coming through with Divine Feminines. Something within inside themselves that they've been holding on to, just like the Divine Masculines, the emotions running high with the Divine Masculines, and a time for healing. It sounds pretty close, guys. It really does. It sounds like there's a lot going on with both sides, the masculine and the feminine. In order for the healing process to take place, they need to go through like a purge again. Purging out energies, purging out negativities, purging out anything that doesn't serve a purpose. We always talk about declutter and release, letting go and just surrendering. This is something that everybody tries to do, and a lot of people, I have to be honest, are not doing. Okay, and I'm not trying to call anyone out, but I see this all the time. I talk to so many people all the time, and I try my best to help them in any way I can. But if you're holding on to something and you're not letting it go, Divine Feminines are doing this, and mainly it's because they're, I'm not saying they're feeling sorry, it's more of like they take on a lot of their own emotions and they hold on to it, they keep it, and then they just purge it away. But then they accumulate some more energy, and that's why this card is saying it's a time for healing. It's time to relax, Divine Feminines. As the other card is basically awakening your true self. In order to heal, you need to awaken, and awakening happens inside you. Awakening doesn't happen if you are doing X amount of meditations a day or going to a retreat. Yeah, those things are wonderful. I love retreats. I love to capture that. But sometimes when you're not really inside your own skin, so to speak, you need to step out of your comfort zone. You need to let go of that feeling, break free from it, break free from the patterns. It's a time for healing, a time to release, and a time to just awaken inside your soul center. In order for a divine union to happen with two people, they can't go on with life feeling, well, one is going the opposite direction and one is going the opposite direction. Yeah, they can live together and they can still go back and forth with, you know, like the back and forth energies. But if they're not seeing it for what it is and doing something about it, it can go on like this for a long time. And I see this a lot. I see this a lot with the collective, and you know what? That's the main reason why a lot of times with these connections needing to have time for themselves for separation. Separation isn't fun, and separation isn't like something that is mandatory, but how do I say this? It is pretty much necessary for a lot of people to get where they need to get inside themselves right first in order to come to divine union. When you put two things together, like I'm just giving you like an example, and it's like, like I don't know kind of example to use. If you're remodeling like a wall or you know something in your home, and if you're trying to put new paint over like debris or walls or anything like a shelf or something you're trying to paint, and if that isn't cleaned or if it's got varnish or some kind of like gloss on it, what happens with that paint? It doesn't stick. It just won't work. It's just not going to work, and you're going to be like, I did all this work, you put all this time, you put all this energy into painting something or putting something together to making it look pretty, making it look nice, and it looked nice. And then all of a sudden you waited an hour or two and you went back to it and it wasn't even dry and it looked terrible. It was like bubbling up. I know I see this a lot as I do a lot of my own, you know, like home improvement stuff in my house. I'm crafty. And you get so disgusted. So this is why when divine masculine, divine feminines haven't released the debris or the toxic energies that they hold on to, because we all accumulate them. I'm not saying anyone is toxic. No one is toxic. There's no one in this world. I don't care if it's your worst enemy. There is nobody toxic. It's just that we accumulate toxic energy. Everybody is pure and everybody is equal. And that goes for everyone, because that's basically what we are. We can't help how we adapt behaviors and mindsets, and that is something that, you know, separates us all. Okay, so I just want to clear that, because I get a lot of questions about when I say we are all equal. Yeah, in a sense, spiritually, we are all equal. But my point is that because everyone is trying to find a better way with that loved one. I mean, maybe you're trying to search for that person. Maybe that person hasn't come into your life and you find yourself in the same pattern over and over. A person does the same thing to you. Well, you know what? I have to say it the way it is. And, you know, sometimes I have to be firm. You're doing something that you shouldn't be in every relationship. If you're bringing up things from your past, maybe you're reminding yourself of you're not worthy, you're not loved. How about releasing it? How about getting out of your comfort zone and doing something a little different? Not being the person you were before, but when you start meeting people. Now, I'm not saying to not be your authentic self, but don't bring up things or don't but don't say something that's going to trigger off you that you're going to feel hurt inside, because it happens to a lot of us. If you're doing this same pattern over and over, and that goes with even if you're with your divine partner, you're with someone that you love, and you find that person keeps doing this to you, when you start standing up or start doing things to heal and putting yourself first, putting yourself forward, this is going to help ground you. And when you get grounded, do you ever notice, why do people look at him like he's on a pedestal, or, you know, he's so great? But though when I meet him, he's not like that. He's very down to earth. It's because he puts himself high up there, not because he's conceited, not because, or she, this doesn't have to be a man, but he puts himself up there. This person puts themselves up there because they love themselves and they believe in themselves. But if you talk to them, they're perfectly like normal, down to earth. They're not like what they appear to be. This is why you need to find the love inside of you. When you do this, you heal and you awaken. You may seem like, wow, to other people, and this is great. This is the way you want to feel, because you want to feel good about yourself. You don't want to feel like, oh, what am I doing wrong? Maybe I should be doing this, or maybe I should be doing that. Trust me, I get like that too, and it's just, I guess, a human emotion, and I'm not going to try to like justify it, because I do feel that way myself. I'm human. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. When you look at the bigger picture, you can see everything, and you don't have to look at things so like superficial, like, okay, it's going to be like this, and then I'm going to see this happen. No, look at the larger scale. The little things that are in front of you are going to pass. Yeah, this relationship that you're with right now, maybe the beginning stages seem to be just going haywire, and it doesn't seem like it's going very well, and maybe you're thinking, great, I'm in another relationship that it's the same thing over again. I'm just still like talking about, elaborating a little bit what I just talked about with the previous situation. This is where you need to look at the bigger picture. Maybe I'm going to meet someone, or maybe that person is going to come to me and give me what I need. Whatever that situation is, it's time to stop looking at things like in a shallow way. There's more out there. There is more out there when you visualize a beautiful light coming from within inside yourself. I always talk about a light. People are asking me, how do I visualize a light? Well, very simple. For one, you can just look at a light and then close your eyes and say, I visualize this light, and it's glowing and it's empowering you. Automatically, it's going to trigger off love and light. That's the main reason we talk about love and light, because they go together. When you visualize this, you're looking at the bigger picture. This is what the divine feminines are trying to do. They need to find that inner peace inside of them so that they can awaken. There's awakening happening with both divine masculine and divine feminines. Not that I'm saying that one needs it more than the other, but when they finally come to a halt and they finally like open their eyes and realize, hey, I can do this. I don't have to be scared anymore. I can finally find my inner truth, my inner peace. This is when they finally do have that union. Sometimes divine masculine, divine feminines don't necessarily come to union right away. Maybe there's a spiritual union that has to happen. They have to ascend higher in a 5D level when they're going through a lot of difficult, I have to say, phases, and the phases can go on into separation, and it feels sometimes like it's unbearable. Nobody really has the complete handbook on how to handle all this. We only just go by what we feel inside. You are your best judge of character on what it is that this person is doing, what this person needs, what you feel, because you're the one that is experiencing it. There is no one that's going to tell you this is the way it is and this is the way it has to be. And, you know, they don't have the whole handbook on what is necessary for you to come into divine union. It's all about working on yourself completely. You may think, I did work on myself, I did make it happen, I did find what I needed to find in my side of myself, but I did not get there for some reason. I just feel like I'm stuck. And that is so common. Feeling stuck, feeling like you're at a standstill, feeling like you're not getting far enough, and it's never going to happen. Negativity, fear, doubt always creeps in. Always, always. And that's what could set you back. No, you can't be a cheerleader 24/7, and you can't hold up really good all the time. But you can spiral up by keeping your vibration up. And when I say that, I mean just, you know, keeping yourself motivated. Guys, it's not that hard. It's very simple. But you have to believe in yourself. You really do. Whatever relationship you're going through, I mean, whatever it is, like I said, I can't say specifically what this is. This reading is more for like the separated relationships, the relationships who are going through just a rocky road, a relationship that is maybe coming to a union, and though they don't know if it's right or wrong, or maybe you're just searching. This is all geared upon everything that's happening, you know, around the world. These messages, I do give them even on Instagram, Facebook. I try to give as many as I can because I'm flooded with messages coming through that I feel like people need to know this. And you get them as well. That's why I always say, have a journal, write it down, you know, and read over the notes. Sometimes they don't come through right away, but when they do, you know that that was a message for me or somebody you know. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this reading. There was a lot of important things that came to me at the same time, and I get like, how could I say, messages through my own readings. And you will too. You will feel something when you, I'm not saying to go get a reading for yourself, but when you're looking at something and you feel something, it's a good idea to pay attention. I'm going to say for you guys, when there's something that comes up to you and you just get a flash of it, a dream, write it down. And if you would like to get your own personalized reading, I do offer phone chat and email readings, and the links are down in the description area. Also, check out my blogs. I have several articles about soulmates, twin flames, and other Q&A videos if you have questions and need answers. Also, if you'd like to just shoot me a question down in the comments area, I'd be happy to help you with whatever I can, whatever that may be. But the thing is that I don't like to do a personalized reading inside the comments area. Some of you have been writing like your question, and I mean, it's fine, it's nothing wrong with it, but I don't think it should be out in the public. You know, that's just me. I'm a private person. Maybe that's a Scorpio in me. Some people do it. I really don't do it that way. Everything is always private. I'm a private person. Okay, so I just want to say one more thing. Thank you for all the reaching out, guys. This has like been a very challenging time for me, and as you know, many of you know what I've been going through. It isn't easy, but you know what? It's been pretty easy since, you know, I have the strength inside me with what has been given to me. God is giving me strength and to carry on, and also with everything that's happening, you guys are just like so supportive. You don't know how much you were supportive. You know, I go to my emails and I have a big smile on my face, and I'm like, wow, this is great. And I just love it. I just want to say I love you guys totally. It helps me so much. I wish I can just hug you all. Okay, so until next time, God be with you all. Namaste.